Hey guys, this is a short video to help you feel a little more comfortable with Galileo as you are answering your discussion board this week and starting to look for credible research. So first of all, you are using Galileo to find an article. I realize Google is easier, but I want to make sure I'm kind of funneling you into a place where you get real good research, it's credible research. You can trust it a little more easily. I also want to keep you away from websites like sparknotes.com and litreview.com and schmoop.com. Those are really great websites as a study aid. They're really great websites to help you review for a course, but they are not something you want to quote and use in an academic paper. So I kind of want to break that habit and show you places you can go to get better research. I'm going to go ahead and turn off my camera because it's kind of bogging down my internet and I don't want this video to skip and jump and be hard to watch. And then I'm going to go ahead and share my screen to walk you through a few things. So once you are able to see my screen, I'm going to bounce on over to our course. There we go. So that you can see when you log in, you know, it always goes to this announcement page. And the first thing I want you to notice is the discussion board. So I'm going to this week, which is Unit 3.1. And in the discussion board, you can see, my goodness, I wrote a lot this week, and I'm sorry, but I really wanted to walk you through how to use Galileo to help justify your answer. So the very first question is your research question. Is asking you to look at my papa's waltz and trifles to make an observation and then make a connection with your observation and research you find in Galileo. And what I did right underneath it was try to walk you through my thought process as I answer the question myself. And this is where teaching online is difficult because I don't get to have you in class, so I don't get to answer real quick questions you might have as you're thinking through it. I can't kind of walk around and help you do it with me so I see that you're going in the right path. So if you start having problems, email me, let me know. That way I can try to help you figure out what to do before this due date. But in this, I tell you, hey, look, I'm looking at trifles. This is my observation. This is what I'm noticing, which made me start thinking about this. And so I went into Galileo and researched it, and here's an article I found that kind of applies. And from that article, I found this quote, which seemed to be pretty powerful. And so I pulled it to share, not just with you, but with everyone in class. And then I spend the rest of the time explaining what it means and how it connects back to the poem, the play, and how it connects back to my observation and shows what I'm noticing and what I'm thinking is actually right and actually connects with a bigger idea that applies to modern day life. So your response is going to look similar to this, and it's going to include that permalink. That way your classmates can pull up that article and see it if they need to or want to. And I can pull it up and see it if I need to or want to. And in order for you to kind of check out what the permalink is, I'm going to go ahead and grab it, and I'm going to open it up in a new tab. And I realize I grabbed the actual word permalink, and that's not a real part of the web address. So let me fix that. Here we go. So when you follow the permalink, what's beautiful about this is it is a permanent web link to the article. And so by copying and pasting it, there's the article. There's what I found. It opens to like the opening page, which gives you an abstract, which is just a big fancy word for summary. So you can look through that and go, okay, yeah, I see what Ms. Oglesby found. I see the connection she's making. Sometimes you find the actual article listed down below, and sometimes you have to come over here to the left to pull up the actual article to read it, which is what you'll have to do because you're looking for valid research where you can use quotes to support your idea. The other piece is grabbing that permalink, which you find over here with your menu options. And it's this infinity sign, and if you hover over it, it says permalink. But when you click it, it pulls up the permalink at the top, so you can copy and paste it. And you will share that into your discussion board. That way anybody else can use the link to find your article. But you're also going to find that very helpful as you continue to do research in this class and for future classes. The other thing I want you to see, and I'm kind of working backwards, is how to get into Galileo to begin with. So if you go to the North Georgia Tech homepage, most of you are familiar with this Current Student tab, and you're going to scroll down, and under Quick Links, you're looking for library resources. And so it brings you to the library page, and they have placed ways to get into Galileo all over the place. Usually this looks a little fancier, but you can search Galileo by typing straight in here, and you can already see some different things that I've tried to research. But you can type it in, use it kind of like a Google search, but it's not quite as intuitive as Google typically is. It takes you straight into Galileo, and it shows you everything it finds from the word you picked. But let me kind of warn you that this is showing everything in the Galileo database. If you come over to the left, you can refine your results. And usually the first thing you want to do is click full text. That way Galileo doesn't tease you with articles that you can't read fully. And so just by clicking full text, now every article title that I find is actual things I can read off of my computer, which is really great as you research online, you've got deadlines, you're trying to squeeze in credible research. The other thing that I find really helpful is you can limit it by its type, and you can limit it by its year. So if I don't want to read things published in 1899 for my subject, that may not be very helpful. I can move this bar up and change the publishing dates to help find the research I'm looking for. I also, let me let it settle. I also can come down here to limit its type and realize, ebooks, on one hand, it's really great because they break it down by chapter, so I can scan and find the chapter I want, but sometimes they're way too long for the amount of time I have to research. However, I know newspaper articles, typically shorter. Magazine articles, typically shorter. And so based off of the time you have to research and what you're looking for to use, you can also use this to help narrow down your search items. So again, you're using Galileo to find a credible source to introduce into your idea with your discussion board. And you are making sure you grab the permalink, you're sharing that in your original post, and you're making that connection to fully answer the question that's in the discussion board that you find in this week's assignment. I hope that this is helpful, and if you have any questions, make sure you email me, and I will do my best to respond back in a timely manner so you can make your due date.